in the State House for 2
They
years.
must have changed the light bulb.
I got my first paycheck and said, I got to get out of here.
They must have changed
You know how much these folks make for working 6 months a year, 3 days a week? And the lights came on.
Once your light bulbs come on.
$10,400.
Amen.
And it's not 6 days, 6 months a year. It's not 3 days a week. It's 12 months a year. It's all the time. So how about a round of applause for the citizen legislator? Our House members and our senators leave their family and their business to help you. Now, I've got a very short speech because I got to go to Iraq yet again. But my speech is about one concept that I think we don't talk enough about: being thankful. I'm thankful for our military. I'm thankful that we've got people who will leave their families 300 days a year. That's what the average SEAL spends away from his family. Get on an airplane in Virginia, fly all the way to Afghanistan, and wait to get a message from the president to go deep into Pakistan to protect us. I've spent 30 years of my life wearing the Air Force uniform. I've had a lot of fun. I got supporters and I got critics, but I'm the luckiest guy alive. Because I've been able to do things that in other countries, nobody, most anywhere else, can grow up in a pool room and be in the Senate. My dad and mom worked hard. We owned a liquor store, a restaurant, and a pool room. I'm the first one in my family to ever go to college. My mom and dad died when I was 21 and 22, and my sister was 12. The reason I'm standing up here today is a lot of people helped me when I needed help. And I am a grateful man. I'm grateful to all those who've helped me. I'm grateful for the opportunity to represent our state. And all of us are mad about the way the country's being run. Let's change it, but never lose sight about how lucky we are to be Americans. We're lucky to have Governor Haley. We're lucky to have a state legislature that will take care of your money. We're lucky to have a lieutenant governor who's a Republican. You know what? We're not really lucky, we just work hard. We got a congressional delegation now, ladies and gentlemen, that you should be very, very proud of. My colleague Jim DeMint is changing our party. Jim and I introduced the balanced budget amendment 2 years ago and couldn't get 3 people to talk to us. Now it's the centerpiece of the debate as to where the Republican Party should go on fiscal matters. Jim has brought about change with a smile. He's worked hard, and he's trying to get our party back to where you want it to be. He's my buddy, he's my partner, and I think we do a pretty good job for South Carolina. I really do admire someone who will be criticized for what you believe. My goal is not to agree with you all the time. My goal is just to tell you what I believe. And I think we got a lot in common. I think we got a heck of a lot in common. And I'm going to tell you without any doubt that our congressional delegation hits above its weight. There's only 6 million people in this state, but in Washington, people know who we are from South Carolina.
You know you are.
Know who I am, turn on TV on Sunday, I'm probably on it. Jim's all over the country, but Tim Scott from the 1st Congressional District, a rising star who is going to save the fort, protect Boyd from the unions, and change the face of the Republican Party all over this country. God bless you, Tim Scott. Joe Wilson from Lexington, the hardest working man in show business. If Joe hadn't been to your house, you just hadn't been to your own house, because he's trying to meet you. Joe, is the Personnel Subcommittee Chairman on the Armed Services Committee, and what better friend could the military have than Joe Wilson? 4 sons all serving in the military. Jeff Duncan from the 3rd Congressional District. My old district. I'm the first Republican from the 3rd Congressional District to be elected to Congress since 1877. And since I got elected, they've all been Republicans. Strom said that guy in 1877 was a nice fellow. I never got to meet him myself. Jeff Duncan is going to lead a renaissance of nuclear power, and he played football at Clemson, and that's pretty darn good. Now, Trey Gowdy. Yeah. A prosecutor who's taking a prosecutor's mentality to Washington. Your money and our budget's important, but what about our families and our security? Thank you, Trey, for not forgetting that somebody's got to fight for us. For 30 years, we've been trying to beat John Spratt, and we did it. Mick Mulvaney, God bless you. They're going to come after him in 2012, but they're not going to succeed. He is a budget-driven fiscal conservative. We're getting 1 more seat because we're growing as a state.
That's right.
Do you want it to be Republican? Yeah. Me too. Bobby, draw those lines well. Now, our constitutional officers, we're the only state in the nation that elects a general. And look what we did. We elected Bob Livingston, who is leading this country as adjutant general. He served in Afghanistan in combat as a 1-star general, and we're lucky to have him leading our men and women in the National Guard. Attorney General Alan Wilson, he sued every liberal in the first 100 days you can think of. Keep it up, Alan. Hugh Weathers, our agricultural commissioner, is the 2nd largest industry in the state. We're in good hands there. Richard Ekstrom, the comptroller, is a Navy veteran who manages your money. Thank you for your service. We got Curtis Loftus, who can manage my money any day of the week. Curtis, you're just doing a great job. Mark Harmon, our Secretary of State, is the nicest guy in politics. Now, we've got a lot to be thankful for. We're the first in the South primary. We have, since 1980, we have chosen the Republican nominee. No one's become the Republican nominee for our party without winning South Carolina. That, to me, is a huge burden and a wonderful opportunity. As I said last night, everybody wanting to be the Republican nominee is going to kiss every part of your body before this is over with. And as our governor said, ask them hard questions, be respectful. Barack Obama is beatable. He really is beatable. Let me tell you why I think he's beatable very quickly. He ran as a centrist. Remember that speech? There is no red America, there is no blue America, there's only America. That sounds good, but Nancy Pelosi did not get that memo. Within the first 2 years of his administration, he took this country to the left ditch. Obamacare, the stimulus package, the Frank Dodd bill, he's doubled the national debt, will triple it in the next 10 years. The reason he's beatable is the American people believe that the person they voted for is not the person governing the country. Here's the really good news. America is a center-right state. Nation. We're not in the right ditch, we're center-right. If we get the right nominee who can talk about economic prosperity without raising your taxes, can talk about debt as a national security issue, and talk about how you go to war in Libya and win, and what we're doing in Libya makes no sense to me. If we can do that, ladies and gentlemen, we can win. And if we do not win, 4 more years of this is more than your children can bear.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
Yeah, we got somebody
One day we'll be hurting.
You've made it. I've made it. Not much is going to happen to turn things around. I've got a lot to wait on when I retire, if I can ever live that long. Most of us have made it. But this ain't about us. This is about the future. The people you love the most, your kids and your grandkids, how in the world are they going to make it? How are they going to pay the debt off or pass it to them? How can they start the same business that's been in your family for 20 or 30 years with the regulations and the taxes? We got our differences, and it's okay. But eventually, this party has got to rally around a nominee who can win. I'm begging. Choose wisely. There'll be people saying things you want to hear that make you feel good, but you got to ask this question: can they win? Indiana, North Carolina, and Virginia, Barack Obama is going to lose. Ohio and Florida are going to decide this election. I am highly confident with a solid Ronald Reagan type conservative who can talk about economic and social issues in a way to get that independent voter on our side, that we can beat Barack Obama. And to the candidates who are wanting to be the nominee for the Republican Party, if you think you can get this nomination without coming and talking to us, you're wrong.
All right.
To those who did not come, some of you had very good reasons, I understand. But let it be said that if you think you can get the nomination without coming here, you're making a serious mistake.
That's right.
And when they come, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to ask them the hard questions that Nikki Haley talked about. And we're going to make sure that we choose wisely. Because South Carolina, when it comes to the Republican Party's political future, is ground zero. I'm going overseas yet again. I'm going to Afghanistan later in the month. The one thing I want to leave with you above all else, that politics is fun. It's great to be able to disagree and push back and have all kind of political fights. That's what makes us special. But none of us could do what we're doing today, and none of us could do what we're going to do next week without somebody taking care of us. So to those who think killing bin Laden ends this war, I'm here to tell you it is not over. I'm here to tell you that the only way America is going to win this war is to be determined to defend our freedom more than they want to take it away from us. As long as I'm your senator, as long as I'm in Washington, D.C., the number one priority I'm going to have for you and my nation is to defend her. Wherever the terrorists go, we're going to go. Whatever we need to do to find out about what they're up to, we're going to find out about it. And if we need to take lethal action, we will. Let's keep Guantanamo Bay open. Let's let the CIA interrogate terrorists using enhanced interrogation techniques that they don't know about. Let's fight this war as if it meant our future was at stake, because it does. Ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing we can do as Americans if we put our mind to it. And to those on the left who think you can leave Afghanistan and Iraq, you don't know what you're talking about.
How long?
We're going to leave.
How long?
But my goal is that we never go back. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. Pray for our soldiers. Pray for our country. And pray that we'll get a nominee to take the White House back in 2012. That we'll have the House, the Senate, and the presidency. And we will save your children's future. God bless you.
Paul.